It's Week 15 of the National Football League, and if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Broncos and the Browns, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Denver Broncos and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games. The ball on the tee, we're set for football. And off we go from Cleveland. Takes it at the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
And just think about what his ceiling in the NFL could be, because when you go back to his 1 collegiate season as a starter, the full season, he went undefeated, didn't throw an interception, and ran for over 1,000 yards as well. When you see him hit the field,
throwing first play is Lance. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. A good gain on first. Has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
this defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
3rd play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Throwing now is Lance. Able to find his man, it's Pickens. And he will have a Broncos first down. They needed 4, he doubled that. He wound up getting 8. The Broncos at 7-6, a game over 500 on the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And I thought they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Lance now on first down. Finding Pickens for another catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc. When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game. That opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
The Browns set to take over. And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. Two division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential playoff preview down the line?
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about the talk about this game coming into play, you're talking about me because I blew up your phone all week prior to this one. I was so excited about this game because, to me, it's not out of the realm of possibility that these two teams see each other again down the road. I like this matchup. They match up very well against each other.
Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. Finds his man, it's John Mechie. And they'll work this down inside the 30. Watson, off play action. Williams brings it in. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there, a 22. The opening drive, it continues, Charles, to be all pass, and it's working. Now they're on the doorstep of a touchdown here, 1st and goal.
Brandon, because it's working so well, I think the entire playbook is open for them right now. Do you want to run it? Do you want to continue to throw it? Spin the dial, make your choice. But right now, you like what you're doing in this possession.
They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Deshaun Watson, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Browns are on the board first here this afternoon. Defensively, they told us that the top priority was defending option plays this week, but here on the very first drive, the defense broke down a bit.
It certainly did, and it's really not a surprise because defending option football is difficult. You have to think too much. Most of the time, you just react to what you see and you play fast. Here you're reacting, you're processing. Do I have the back? Do I have the quarterback? Who do I take? Do I take on a blocker? And next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
This one fielded at the 5. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They are back over the 500 mark for the year. A 3-game winning streak really coming at the exact right time, Charles, to get them back into playoff contention.
And it's always a question of when do you want your football team to peak? And everyone always talks about you want to be playing your best ball going into the playoffs, but sometimes you need your best ball before that time. And this team, going into this stretch of games, they're certainly playing their best football of the year.
Here's Robinson again on 2nd down. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Off of play action, here's Lance. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time? Let's keep doing it until they stop us. Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. Open man is Mechie, and he's got him. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Got to to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Watson on first down. Flush to his right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. To throw again on second down. Watson, he gets this one to Mechie. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 45-yard line. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun now. Now the ball comes loose. It's picked up by the Broncos. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Following the fumble recovery, Lance. And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
Another try after the first down sack. Lance. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. And he fires one, but incomplete. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this will stay at a 7-point game.
Wow, partner, it's almost a little jarring to see a holder sit up on the other side of midfield. I haven't brought out my binoculars to make sure on that one. That is showing an awful lot of confidence in the kicker to try and hit from 61 yards, and this one winds up no good.
And they'll run the option to start the drive. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Watson now to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Williams. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Gibson on the read option. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Once more, Gibson. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. They'll try the air now with Watson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. To throw is Watson. And that is incomplete. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. This from 32 yards away. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And Lance now to throw. And that'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Lance. Flushed out right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down. Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And that is a situation where in a defender's mind, you just have to pick a point on the football field and think to yourself, I'm going to sprint full out and meet him at that point. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but he had the play diagnosed perfectly there.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Lance. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Lance looking to throw it. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
Already down 2 scores. They're going to go for this rather than settle for 3. And they'll go for it. Lance. Got a man. It's McBride complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner, great touch on the football, and they turn that one into a big play.
Robinson. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. To throw, it's Lance. Forced out to his left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Trey Lance, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos have cut it back within a score.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Joey Sly on for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it was Trey Lance taking it in himself to cap the drive with a touchdown run. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Well, sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Watson. He'll get this into the hands of Antonio Gibson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Here's Gibson on the read option. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. Here's Gibson on the read option. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Here's Gibson on the read option. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 44 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
Now Watson. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And he'll be down close to the first down marker as he gets this to the Broncos' 26. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he is going to have a Browns first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
He's brought down at the 15-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for. A really good change of pace back.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And he'll just get rid of it. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Out of the gun, Watson. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Gregory Rousseau in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7 our score. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Watson. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And this one is right through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Throwing now is Lance. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Throwing is Lance on 3rd down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Oh, this is off the side of his foot. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Here comes Antonio Gibson as he's set for another drive. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating, there he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And that will be incomplete. On fourth down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Here's Lance to throw it. And he fires one incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now Lance completes it to Samuel. And he will have a Broncos first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. A final shot before half for Lance. Open man right side is St. Brown. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for the Broncos in that first half. And despite the fact that they're down on the scoreboard, they were able to have some success throwing the football in that opening half. Meanwhile, for the Browns, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. For the Browns offense getting set to go to work here to start the third. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, and believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
Watson on third down. Caught left side by Mechie. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
That's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
A give up the middle to Gibson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Watson now going to run the option right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 48-yard line. Again, Watson to keep it. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Straight ahead, Gibson. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's airing it out for Williams. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for the 2nd half.
From the 27, Lance. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. From the gun, it's Lance. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Lance going to throw. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains.
He really looked comfortable there, scanning the situation, analyzing things, feeling the pressure, and then stepping up right through the middle and sprinting for a 1st down.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. From just shy of midfield, Lance got an open man. It's Pickens. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Robinson, he'll try the left side. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Here's Robinson again on 2nd down. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 40 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game. Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And now they'll throw with Lance. This is caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a first down. And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
Well, that's going to bring up a big call now because he's unable to make the play himself on 2nd down. Now you just have to wonder, will they keep the ball in his hands on 3rd down?
And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Looking to throw. Lance. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Amon-Ra St. Brown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Broncos are an extra point away from capturing the lead. Well, they were down 6 at intermission, but they quickly erased that deficit, and Charles, now they've got a chance to take the lead.
And while being down 6 points, obviously not an insurmountable lead, tying a game up, that just relaxes a whole team, doesn't it? And now when you add the extra point and you go up, you really feel good about what you've accomplished.
Slide for the PAT. And this puts them on top by a penny. It's 14-13. That one was an extended drive. 14 plays all told. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. On 1st down, Watson. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that is incomplete. A 3rd quarter now, a 1-point game as they line up 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. On 2nd and 7, Lance. He's got McBride here over the middle. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
The tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Lance. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. Here's Lance. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. John Franklin Myers in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, we saw him score on the ground earlier in the ball game. This time, the defense says not so fast.
Yeah, that's good scouting and good awareness, isn't it? Because you always have to be wary of him keeping it himself, especially in this part of the field. Because if he doesn't like what he sees, you know he'll take off and try and go for it himself.
The offense on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a 1-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Watson. Well, this is caught by Williams. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. To throw is Watson. Over the middle, he gets it to Gibson. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. A handoff for Gibson, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. 3rd and 2. Watson. Open man is Mechie, and he's got him. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Now it's Watson. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Back to the ground with Gibson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. From the 50, it's Watson. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Quinnen Williams in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
And if we go back to the last series, remember, their coverage allowed them to get a turnover in the last drive, a takeaway, and that helped contribute to a sack on this one. I think maybe this quarterback's a little bit hesitant. Last time he turned it over, now he sees his zone coverage a little bit slow to get rid of the football.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. Down to the 42, 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson. Over the middle, that's caught by Mechie. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 30. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Watson. And this one is incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll go option to the short side. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. Now Watson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there, and it'll bring up 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Watson going to keep it again. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. He'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a fourth down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Desperation time. Watson on fourth down. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Browns unable to move the chains on fourth down, and the Broncos will take over on downs.
No surprise. They try to throw the ball on fourth down, but it gets batted down. They don't pick it up.
Well, a little football 101. When you're going toward that quarterback, you see he's going to start to throw. Get your hands up,
Get your hands up, affect the play, and then everyone get your hands up. When the ball gets to the receiver, moment of truth, knock it away.
Lance's throw complete there to St. Brown. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. That'll give them 8 that time, and they'll be left with second and a couple.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Second down and a run by Robinson. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped.
Delay of game, offense.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Still first down.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. To throw, it's Lance. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On 3rd down, Robinson. And he's going to have a Broncos first down as the tackle made at the 35-yard line. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Robinson with another carry. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Robinson up the middle. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39.
Holding, offense.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Now Lance. throw there going to be incomplete. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Denver. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So now it's Watson and the Browns. Down 17-13, 50 seconds to go. A possible crippling loss to their playoff status in the balance, barring a late score. Here's Watson. And that one going to come up short. Low throw. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw, Watson. Gets this to Gibson. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. They will indeed snap it to Watson. Flush to his right. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go through with such little time remaining, and the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee.
Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So for the Broncos, they're not going to go quietly here as the win moves them now to 8-6 on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they'll drop to 9-5 on the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them.